When I was in high school, I would rush home from school to sit onto my computer and play video games all night long. On weekends, instead of going out with my friends, instead of hanging out with people, going out, leaving my house, I would sit in Friday to Sunday. Honestly, I wouldn't even go out. Maybe to buy food, maybe to get some clothes. I would only leave my house for some sports and school. That was literally it. All of my days I'd be spending indoors. And I would ask myself like, oh my God, why do I have no friends? Why do I have no girlfriend? Why am I so lonely? Why am I so unproductive? It's because I was staying indoors all day. I'll break through in this video why going outside will literally help you so much and you don't even realize. So the first thing is your environment. So I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna tell you this study, very interesting study about the Vietnam War. So during the Vietnam War, American soldiers, about 1/4 of American soldiers did a ton of heroin, right? To cope with the war, they did a ton of heroin. And so people thought, okay, when these guys go back to the US, they're gonna be addicted to heroin. That was the fear. But here's the thing, they went back to the US and I think like 95% of them just stopped doing heroin. So what this study says is your habits is deeply linked to the environment you're in. If you look at the science of your brain and stuff like that, you realize, you can see that your environment is connected to the habits that you do. So just because you're unproductive at home and you get almost nothing done and you procrastinate all day, literally leaving your house and going to a different environment could instantly cure your procrastination. Like maybe if you go to a library and you sit down, you find you're able to bust out 2 hours of work, no problem. But if you sit down at home, you're going to be procrastinating all day and get nothing done. That's why that heroin study on the Vietnam soldiers is very interesting. They were, if you do heroin in your home, you're probably going to get addicted, right? But these guys were doing heroin every day in the Vietnam War, and they came home and the addiction was gone. Now, it might also be partly to do with the fact that they came home to their families and there was connections and stuff like that. But environment plays a huge role in many things. Like, bro, you can't stop touching your pee-pee all day. You're watching Pornhub all day, right? You want to stop. Leave your house. If you're in the library, if you're in public, how are you going to beat your meat? When you're in public, you're not going to get those same urges to go onto the hub and have some fun. Or bro, you want to stop scrolling on social media, leave your house. For me, I know as soon as I get into my room, I pull out my phone and I start scrolling. But if I'm in public or I'm sitting down in a park or I'm in a library or something, I'm so unlikely to go onto Instagram and start scrolling, just because the environment is connected with the impulses we do all day. The neural networks in our brain are linked to the environment you're in. So if you're addicted to something at home, doesn't mean you're going to be addicted to it everywhere. Like maybe you've, been obsessed with video games or something, and you find when you go to a different country or something, you stop thinking about video games. That's not the best example, but you want to stop playing video games. Leave your house. Unless you're bringing a PC everywhere, how are you going to play video games everywhere? If you're in school or something, unless you're so deeply addicted to video games, you're not going to get as much of that impulse to play video games. You're going to be more likely to do productive things. This is why it honestly might be worth it to rent out a working space. If you don't have access to a library or something, it might honestly be worth it to rent out a working space. You can rent out these spaces in the city for like a couple $100s a month, where you can sit down and do some work. You might be thinking, bro, that's so expensive. Why would I pay $100 couple $100s a month for a working space? I've got a desk at home. But you're not getting shit done at home anyway. If you're sitting down at home wasting hours a day, you could pay a couple $100s a month to save those hours every single day. So that's the first thing. Your environment is deeply linked to your habits. You're procrastinating, go outside. You're addicted to drugs or corn or whatever, go outside. The second reason why going outside will literally solve your problems is kind of related, accountability. If you're sitting in a library and you're messing around doing random stuff, you're sitting in a coffee shop messing around doing random stuff, you're gonna feel like people are watching you. You're gonna feel that sense of accountability. If you're in the library and other people are doing stuff, you're much less likely to, first of all, if you're in a library or you're in a cafe, there's almost 0% chance that you're gonna pull down your pants and start beating your meat right there in the library, right? So that's one thing. Second thing, you're probably not gonna pull out your PC and start playing video games. You're probably gonna start doing your work, doing your homework, because everyone else around you is doing that. Same thing when in a cafe. There's people watching you. You feel like more connected with the people around you. When you're in your home, you're stank home. When you're at home, home is the place that you've that smells like cum because you've been, beating your meat for years. Your home is the place where you just do all this random stuff, like scroll on your phone all day and stuff. So of course your brain is going to associate home with doing this degenerate stuff. So leaving your house will literally solve those problems. And here's the next thing, bro. You probably wonder oh bro, I remember I was in high school. I would, as soon as school would end, I would run home to sit down and play video games. I would spend all weekend in sitting down and playing video games. And I wondered, oh bro, why don't I have any friends? Why don't I have a girlfriend? Bro, it's because I spent all day indoors in my house. Now, I'm not saying if you go outside, you're gonna get a bunch of friends. You're gonna get a girlfriend as soon as you leave your house. Definitely not. That's definitely not the case. You do have to put in more work, obviously. But going outside is step one. It's a necessary but not sufficient condition for meeting girls, for meeting friends. If you're staying in your house all day and you're not seeing people, you're not seeing girls, how do you expect to meet a girl? It's step one. You have to leave your house. You know, your game could be amazing. You could be really good at talking to girls, talking to people. But if you're staying indoors all day and you're not even seeing people, of course you're not going to meet them. So going outside is step one. I know it sounds obvious, but you're probably guilty of this. You're probably sitting at home all day wondering why you have no friends, wondering why you have no girls. This is literally step one. You need to see girls in front of you. You know, step two obviously is like go to clubs, cold approach, whatever. But that's step one, okay? Now the next thing, this one's pretty obvious. How much it will help your mental and your physical health. Look into this, research into this. For your mental and your physical health, you need fresh air, you need nature, you need sunlight. You need to be exploring new places. And if you're sitting in your home all day, you know, getting no sunlight, sitting in the dark like a mushroom, or I don't know why mushrooms are in the dark, but if you're sitting at home all day like a mushroom, getting no light, you know, getting no nature, the only animals you see are the ants eating your cum tissue, then how do you expect to, you know, feel good? I don't know about you, but when I'm sitting in a park, sunlight shining, dogs barking, trees everywhere, I just feel amazing. Like my problems don't exist. I'm feeling good. My health is feeling good. And sunlight, you need sunlight for your mental health, for your physical health, to be healthy. You need sunlight, you need fresh air, you need nature. You know, you might think this is like some lame shit. You don't care about it. You know, who cares about nature? Who cares about trees? Who cares about sun? I just want to grind. I just want to be productive. Sure, but look into the research. It's killing you in the long run if you're not getting sunlight. It's killing your testosterone. It's killing you. Well, here's the thing. People don't realize that their mental health, their physical health holds them back from being more productive. So actually, if you sacrifice 20 minutes a day of work to get sunlight, you will actually be more productive. Because, you know, one reason is because the sunlight will improve your mental health, which will make you work better. The other reason is sunlight will improve your testosterone. Testosterone is the hormone that makes effort feel good. So imagine if hard work felt good. That's what happens when you get sunlight, when you get nature, when you go outside. Your hard work starts becoming easier and it starts feeling better. So this is your actionable step. Get the fuck out of your house, right? You might think, bro, I'm bulking, you know, I gotta cook my meals at home. Pack your lunches and spend at least 8 hours of your day outside. You know, outside of school, if you go to school, spend a couple hours outside of school outside. I guarantee you'll procrastinate a lot less, you'll relapse on your habits a lot less, and you'll actually start enjoying life more. So get out of your house. Take what you normally do with your day and spend like 8 to 10 hours outdoors every single day. So let me know if you disagree with any of the points in this video. Subscribe if you like it. See you later.